Hey, today we're going to look at the milestones and event for your new players. So first strike, second strike. First strike is what you're going to unlock first. And what we have here is some characters for the Spider Society and Sinister 6. So you see with these milestones, you're going to get shards for characters to unlock Rhino, Electro, Shocker, which is one of the newer ones. We'll talk about that shortly. Green Goblin. Swarm has been updated also. We'll talk about Swarm. And then you've got the Spider Society. So you have Ghost Spider, or Gwenom as you may know. Peter B. Spider-Man Noir. And good old Pavalicious there. Spider-Man. And then you have the fifth character rounding out the team being Penny Parker. Okay, so second strike is the next one that you will get access to. I didn't note what level that opened up. I think it was around 40 or 45. So what's that going to give you in the milestones is some more character unlocks. You're going to get the team of Out of Time, which is going to be Peggy Carter and her band of miscreants, and they're going to give you an unlock token, which is going to bring you up to gear 8, level 45. And then it's also going to give you the team Mercs for Money, which Deadpool is actually going to be one of the rework teams in the Retcon team that's coming out shortly. So there is some characters in here that you probably won't utilize too much past what they provide you, but there is some that have been reworked. But with the new stat rework, Deadpool's going to be one of those ones. So we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. We have Daycare and Taskmaster coming in this, and Pandapool. So another two teams there that are going to give you the resources. So with these two milestones, first and second strike, if you're only just starting out, I wouldn't worry about putting resources into those characters, because they are going to, with those tokens, they are going to transform your character to that position. So probably more about the level 45 ones. Probably hold off on them. The other ones, Shocker would be the only exception that I would sort of level by yourself. So with that strike team, they gave you Spider Society characters, and with that, they then opens up this event, which you can get more shards for some of those characters by progressing through here, and they're going to give you more shards for the Spider Society, but also Spider-Man 2099, Web Weaver, and Spider-Man Big Time. So more shards for them. Now I'm not leveling the team that you unlocked in that milestone. I'm just going to try and use them where they're at to see if they're good enough. There is a couple of characters that I've put resources in, and I'll talk about that shortly. So you have to use Peter B, Ghost Spider, and Noir, and they provide them at level 25, which I don't feel is enough. They also give you Penny at 30 and Pav at 30. I've put some resources into Big Time because of the War Team, one of the reworked ones and the newer reworked ones. However, come new stats is what I'm focusing on in the next few months. So unsure if I'm going to go past level 40. I've also brought Spider-Man 29 up to level 40 because they did say in 2025 that in 2026 they're going to rework, no sorry, not rework, they're going to have a 2099 team. So being the only 2099 character in the game, I would assume he's getting a rework. So that's why I've invested in him, just to complete this node for the resources. But let's see how this team goes with what they provide you in terms of those upgrade tokens. Right. So this is the full team, an older team, but still having it as a complete team. You know, you're getting that synergy. let's see what they do. So I think the first three characters are level 25, and then Pav and Penny are level 30. Because I don't really want to invest any more in these characters. I do say going up to level 40 doesn't really burn a lot of resources. Being being part of a movie that's probably coming out soon, Into the Spider-Verse Part 3, you know, whether there's reworks on the table as a potential, so spiders do generally get a bit of love, but I would not think that it would be the whole team. All right, so it looks like we need to do a bit more investment or play this manually. Green Goblin Classic, Craven, all that can be quite silly, so we'll have to redo this. But bringing the other three up to level 30 might not. Well, it won't cost us too much, and it might be enough to clear this. We'll see how we go. One of the most asked questions is, which characters do I invest in? And obviously this is a question that will have a multitude of answers. And first of all, I believe how you want to play is paramount. Number one, games are for fun. So if you want to level the characters you love, go for it. If you love a certain character, go for it. A good friend of mine, a Daredevil 99, goes for the hunky men. But yeah, figure out what you're after. If you want to start spending in the game and try and do very, very well in all the events and whatnot, then your newer teams, your newer stat characters are the ones you're going to focus on. If you want to unlock some of the older content in terms of progression, like once you access it, you're looking at the epic campaigns. There's certain teams that are required to complete them. The other one is if you're in a fairly decent alliance early on, they're going to want you to level specific teams for your raids. So when you start getting past the Greek raid into what's called at the moment the Spotlight raid, there is certain teams that you need in there to advance on the higher difficulties. Same with the Annihilation raid. The Annihilation raid at the moment, we can quickly show you that when you click on it, it's got your difficulty scaling, and at the moment, we'll go an older node. So here is requires 5 characters at difficulty 1. As you start to go down, it changes the requirement from 5 characters to a specific ISO level, all that sort of stuff. Difficulty 3 then requires for this node tech. It starts to scale up a bit harder until it then locks you down on difficulty 8 to the actual team that is designed for the tech node, which is the 5 Insidious 6, Shocker or Vulture. So there's only 3 characters that have the Insidious 6 tag, but Shocker, Vulture synergize with that team. So they're basically the 5 Insidious 6s. Those 3 Insidious 6 members being Superior Spider-Man, Scorpion, and Hobgoblin. So we can utilize them there. So if your alliance wants you to work on difficulty 8 or 9, then you're going to need to bring up those characters to that point. When you're starting out, someone might say, get the current raid teams. It's like, well, if this potential raid is going to disappear, or the recommended team. So at the moment, let me just change nodes. So at the moment, let's have a look. I believe not mutants. No, not Thunderbolts. Immortal Weapon. Here we go. So Immortal Weapon or Night Stalker. So Night Stalker's the old team for Mystic. So if you were working on your Night Stalker team, and then before you even get to difficulty 8, they bring out a mortal weapon. So understanding which is the potential next team to be replaced is good when you start playing, looking at your raids, because you may not want to invest too much in that. So at the moment, the next team to be replaced, without looking at the 2 spotlight teams, is going to be your vigilante team, your skill team. So not going too crazy on vigilante is something you may consider until they announce the next one. Hello, welcome to Vault Guardian special tip. Vault Guardian tip number 4. When looking for information, good place to start is on the strikeforce.com webpage. You'll see every Friday there is blog, except holiday period. We go down here, we check the blog. Blog has useful information. Sometimes information may be subject to change. You get that. It happens. Like sometimes my accent sounds like Walt Guardian, and sometimes it sounds like an Aussie guy. But we try to be the funny. And anyway, so basically the blog has your next week dates and what's happening in the game based on the US time zone. Also tells you about the events that are coming for that next week. It tells you about the Twitch drops, and it tells you about the Friday free claim that you get that day, which you know because you claim. I showed you how to claim another tip. You like the Wild Guardian tip. And yeah, it's information. Also, you'll see content creators potentially release videos on the YouTubes or a review on the Twitch or other social medias. You can get that information. Sometimes they're a little bit tricky more, sometimes not. Sometimes also Discord servers have good information for you. So, Vault Guardian tip number 4: get your info from the sources. Info is good, knowledge is power. I am Vault Guardian, and I approve of this message.